Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in the Greater Accra region. My name is Kweku Aduyama, and coming up. Former President John Dramani Mahama preaches unity in Bimbilla as he courts the support of delegates in his final laps of campaign ahead of the NDC presidential primaries on May 13.
Often the supporters are the problem. When one person is elected, the other supporters whose candidate was not elected want to come back and come and work for that person. Then those who supported the winning candidate will say, no, you went and followed this person. You follow this person. You are not part of us. No, all of us are NDC. All of us are.
Meanwhile, former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Duffuor confident of victory as he takes campaign to home region, that is the Ashanti region.
Would I be in a race if I will not win? To waste time? To waste resources?
Still to come, Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana, JUSAG, gives government 5 days to approve new salaries.
The advice of the Judicial Council is on the desk of the President of Ghana for his approval. It hasn't been approved. Where we've gotten to, it has become difficult for members to bear with. So our message now is that we should have the new salaries paid to us with all the arrests from January in the month of May. The indefinite strike itself will start from 22nd May.
And later, we'll take you to the University of Energy and Natural Resources, where the student leadership has taken steps to help brilliant but needy colleagues struggling to pay their fees.
Students who are very brilliant but would genuinely have nothing to actually pay their fees. So what we do is to come in to intervene so that we are able to create some level of relief for students in such situations.
Many thanks for choosing us. Let's start with some politics now, because executives of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, in the Bimbilla constituency of the Northern region have declared their support to former President John Dramani Mahama in his bid to lead the party to the 2024 general elections. The assurance was given at Bimbilla when the former president visited the area as part of his campaign tour of the region. There's more in the following report by our Northern Regional correspondent Mohammed Aminu Alabera.
The atmosphere was politically charged following the arrival of John Dramani Mahama in Bimbilla. Prior to his arrival, he had visited constituencies such as Pandai, Yendi, Zabzugu, Tatali, Saboba, among others. In all the constituencies he visited, there was massive reception accorded him. Almost every person who identifies with the NDC membership in the Bimbilla constituency and other nearby constituencies were at the Bimbilla Senior High School compound to welcome the former President John Dramani Mahama. The uncompleted dining hall of the Bimbilla Senior High School was full to capacity. The constituency chairman of the NDC in Bimbilla, Mashood Abiola, in his welcome address, assured the former president of the total support of delegates of Bimbilla constituency come May 13th.
Our stand is clear for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the basis of his leadership, on the basis of his humanity, on the basis of the many things he has done for the Bimbilla constituency. We have no else way to look than to look for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who is number one on the ballot paper. In 2019, we did it for him. We got 95.8%. And today, we want to assure him that the 13th of May, in good health and in strength, we shall give him 100% endorsement.
The original organizer of the party, Alhaji Babaji, believes John Mahama is the right person to change the trajectory of the country, hence their support.
All the delegates that came told me that when they elect me as regional organizer, they want me to support John Dramani Mahama. So that is one reason why I'm with John Dramani Mahama. Two, I'm also convinced, beyond any reasonable doubt, that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is the only person in NDC currently to take Ghanaians and the whole country out of this current economic hardship we are facing. Whether you like it or not, even the MPP people will admit that the current economic situation we are facing is so unbearable that we will need somebody who is equipped with experience, somebody with the requisite knowledge, somebody with the required skills, somebody with God-fearing heart to lead Ghana to the promised land. And we cannot find all this quality in anybody in NDC now except His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So we are in politics to grow, and we think that John Dramani Mahama is the only person in NDC currently that can give us that growth we need.
The former district chief executive for Nanumba North in the NDC administration, Honorable Ibn Abbas, also shared his opinion on why John Mahama is the best for Ghana now.
It's an entire that JTM is the one we are very confident will be able to lead us to achieve victory in the next elections. He has already had a big legacy, and we think that it will be much easier to market him. He's already a marketable project, and that is why, in order to reduce the workload on every one of us, we have decided to all get along with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He is number one.
On his part, the former president, John Dramani Mahama, called for unity among supporters of the party to ensure victory in the 2024 general elections.
Roxanne has his supporters, Tamanja has his supporters, our brother Atta has his supporters. Often the supporters are the problem. When one person is elected, the other supporters whose candidate was not elected want to come back and come and work for that person. Then those who supported the winning candidate will say, no, you went and follow this person, you follow this person, you are not part of us. No, all of us are NDC, all of us are. Often, the reason why we find it difficult to get the 100% is because some people spoil their ballots. They are not able to vote properly, so it becomes a rejected ballot. And so if you are going to vote, you see my picture on top. And so you put your thumb on the ink, and then you can print the middle. Some people can print part of their thumbprint goes into the other box. Once your thumbprint crosses this line, then they'll say they don't know who you wanted to vote for. So it becomes a rejected ballot. And apart from that, the major spoiler of ballots is that when we thumbprint, we're in a hurry to fold the paper. So we don't clean our hands with a tissue or rag. And then when we hold the paper again, it thumbprints another place. So you see two thumbprints on the same ballot paper. If there are two thumbprints on the same ballot paper, it's a small ballot. And so let's be careful.
Meanwhile, a flag-bearer hopeful of the opposition NDC, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, has indicated his commitment to work towards increasing the party's votes in the Ashanti region in the 2024 general elections. He insists that the NDC has never neglected the region in terms of development, despite being the stronghold of the ruling New Patriotic Party. Citi News' Ashanti regional correspondent Hafiz Tijani reports.
Dr. Duffuor is in the Ashanti region to begin his campaign ahead of the NDC's presidential primaries. He's confident of leading the party following what he says is positive feedback he has so far received from delegates as part of his campaign tour in parts of the country.
It's fantastic. Don't you look at the videos or so? They do so well. from the north down. Yesterday we were at Goko, and I wish I had seen the jubilation, the way the people received us. They want to change, you understand? They know we can change the system. They know we can improve upon their livelihood for them. They know that we can. So they were happy to see us. Any place we went, it was so happy to meet us. My campaign manager has been doing so well, talking to them, and I hope we'll be able to show the adequate videos for you to appreciate what people are going through and how we have been received in the past. I want to believe that the Kumasi here, you'll receive me in the same way, because I have good news for you. I'm not here asking you to give me any momo. I'm here just to talk to you, that I can help you prove upon your. I'm winning. You see, why would I be in a race if I will not win? To waste time, to waste resources. I'm winning.
He also spoke about how he can lead the charge to help the NDC increase its votes in the Ashanti region, which has always been the MPP's stronghold.
As I for Epe NDC, na propaganda nitro. Oh, I'm on pe. Yano prayer. Share NDC growth for the past 8 years. Equoslo. Ampa Ashanti voters say it was about 2.5 million. So, in about 652,000, 2020. And now MPP jump 1.7. Now, make sure say next year, 2024, Ashanti NDC votes because so the phone say 2 million saka be born. If say kakra ye no bra bad in 2 million ye bo awon pa.
The former finance minister says he's committed to empowering the grassroots of the party, and the initiative is not a political tool.
That is a project long before I declared my intention to contest. I did not bring in Ahucho because of politics, because of humanity. Okay? If it were politics, I would have set up business with Ahucho, would have made millions every month to do my campaign and to influence people directly. Okay? If I'm able to set up 100 Ahucho businesses throughout the country, and every month, one unit brings in 4,000. How much will come in to me? What can't I do with millions from Ahuto? So the idea wasn't to use Ahuto to influence people, but to help humanity. People are suffering on the grassroots. In my view, if we're able to help somebody to smile, we've done so much. Money is not everything, but life is what we should all try to save and protect. Okay, so it's not a political tool, not at all. It wasn't.
Dr. Dufour is expected to meet NDC delegates and other executives across constituencies in the Ashanti region as part of his campaign tour.
In more stories, Tabitao Pulaku International Ghana is describing as worrying the denial of passports to persons of Fulani descent The group is alleging that in some instances, Fulanis with passports have had it confiscated. The group says the act has the tendency to disturb the peace in the country if measures are not taken to immediately address the issue. The group made this known at Pandai in the northern region on the occasion of opening a cattle market. There is more in this report.
On Saturday, there was a gathering of Fulanis across the country at Pandai in the northern region. The gathering was to officially open a cattle market in the area where cattle can easily be purchased. The Pandai cattle market is the 28th of such in the country. At the opening ceremony, the General Secretary of Talabital Pulaku International, Alhaji Ahmed Bari, spoke about what he called discrimination and stereotype against the Fulani ethnic group. Alhaji Bari alleged that since 2021, Fulanis who have gone for Hajj upon arrival at the airport have had their passports seized from them without any explanations. He alleged that this year, Fulanis have been denied passport to enable them to go fulfill their religious rights.
So when they return, you take the passport. He has already fulfilled his promise. You don't need to take it. But it's an insult to us. We happen to be the Ghanaian Fulanis. Our forefathers struggled before today we are sitting here peacefully. So if their children and grandchildren are today being denied citizenship, it's a shame for us to be sitting down. And when they come, they beg us with some 2 cedis, with some clothes, then we wake up and go and queue and vote for them. Please, let's wake up.
He sends a signal that if things do not change, he will advocate against any politician that would come to them for votes in the 2024 general elections.
The MP were coming in. They came in with entourage. Who prepares the ground? Who prepares where they should sit? I don't think the MP or the honorable members will undermine his entourage. Without them, the MP is no more body. Because the MP cannot just walk straight, come and there here, now that he's looking for where to sit. Without the entourage, we will not even recognize him as an MP. We will not recognize him as a DC. So let's give everybody a due respect.
Alhaji Bari said the opening of the cattle market is going to bring development to the area and has therefore called on the security agencies to be up and doing because criminals may like to take advantage.
I went to the station and bought a fuel. So the fuel attendants become the first beneficiary of my movement. From the fuel station attendant, I ran to the market. Before you move the animal from my car to the tire, I have to buy a rope. I will use rope to tie them up. I'll buy my rope. Then the rope seller is the number 2 beneficiary. When I bought the rope, I have to see a Aboboya rider who I'm going with him to my place to convey this animal to town, to the market to sell. The Aboboya seller becomes also a beneficiary.
The district chief executive for Pandai was excited about the initiative by the Fulanis and says it will boost the income of the assembly. He further urged them to all times be law-abiding citizens.
We have a market. I would say we have a market, even though officially not open. But as we have gathered here, there's no way we will say this market will not be operationalized. The assembly is proud of whoever thought of this and brought this initiative. In fact, it will bring a lot of development into this district. A lot of greater things that will happen through this market will come as a result of an individual's thinking. And I think we are proud of that.
The Member of Parliament for Pandai, Honorable Daniel Nsola, assured the gathering of taking up the issue raised by the discrimination and stereotyping against Fulanis.
Rajibari, he has nailed it all by pointing to me as a member of parliament. If by chance our laws discriminate against anybody who was given birth here, or by marriage, or by naturalization, and it's very clear that I should come and explain and even quote. But I think my colleague, member of parliament from Adenta, would be the right person to propagate this message clearly. And from here, I will have to work closely with him to see how we can help solve these issues.
He further urged them not to take the laws into their hands, but collaborate with the security agencies in dealing with them.
See people fighting and then trying to, sometimes even with shooting and all those things. So no, that will not be allowed in this constituency. There must be law, people must obey, and anybody who wrong you, please report to the security. Don't take law into your own hands. And that is what I can see. And we all monitor what is happening here.
The paramount chief for Pandai welcomed the initiative by the Fulanis, saying it will strengthen the already cordial relationship between indigenes and the Fulanis. He, however, cautioned the Fulanis to be of good behavior and report the bad ones among them to the appropriate authorities for action to be taken. On his part, Panna Amidu Sedu, who also commended the Fulanis for the initiative, called on the leaders of all tribes in the area to consolidate the peace the jurisdiction currently enjoys.
The establishment of cattle markets on the flip side has the potential to reverse the peace process through conducts and attitudes that will not show justice, that will not show fairness, that will show criminality. The only way we can curb it to push the peace further ahead is to ensure that there is justice and fair play.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Still to come. Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana, JUSAG, threatens an indefinite strike if the government fails to review the salaries of its members and pays arrears owed to them. We have details coming up shortly. Please to stay. You're welcome back. Let's bring you more stories now. And the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, has underscored the need for authorities to come up with a comprehensive plan to tackle the issue of illegal mining in the country. The Council fears food production and supply of water would be adversely affected in the near future if the practice continues. The Director General of the CSIR, Professor Paul Bosu, is worried that many water bodies are being destroyed and that the situation, if not controlled, would lead to Ghana importing a chunk of water into the country. Our Ashanti regional correspondent has the rest of the story.
For years, the topic of illegal mining has been dominating national discourse. Despite numerous government interventions to curb the menace, the situation appears to have gotten worse. Illegal miners seem to have been emboldened as the act have been going on in various mining communities across the country with impunity. Several farmlands, water bodies, and even according to the Forestry Commission, about 34 forest reserves are being destroyed due to such activities. The Council for Scientific and Industrial Research is thus worried about the development. The Director General for Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Professor Paul Bosu, wants policymakers to find urgent way of controlling the situation.
You would agree with me that this problem of illegal mining has been discussed over and over and over and over again. I'm sure even the lay person, the average person on the street, you don't need to be a specialist in forestry or land management to know that the impact of illegal mining on our environment is very, very negative and bad. In my view, there is only one solution. We have to stop it. We have to stop it. Or if we maybe we may not be able to stop it completely because of its economic benefits and other benefits, but then we have to have measures that are such that we would really bring it under considerable level of control, And if we don't do that, and we let illegal miners run amok, as it's currently the case, then we definitely know, we see the effects already.
Professor Paul Bosu is of the view that the country will have to import more water since existing water bodies in the country that serve as source of water to the population are being destroyed with impunity.
The water systems that are being destroyed, polluted big time. I think you all already know that recently some of our water treatment plants have to shut down or about to shut down. So that's also a major. And then if it continues at the rate at which we are going, then we will then degrade or destroy the land on which we grow crops. So then we might start, and I hear that to some extent we are even importing water. I don't know whether it's true. And then we'll move from importing water. We already import some kinds of food. We import considerable tons of rice and all that. But then if it gets worse, where we have to import most of our food because of the degradation of the land, then you don't need any expert, to tell you that it's a major problem.
For Citi News, Fatih Amin Ibrahim, Kumasi.
Now, the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana, JUSAG, is threatening to embark on an indefinite strike in the coming weeks if the government fails to review the salaries of its members and pay arrears owed to them. The leadership of JUSAG warned that if their demands are not met by May 12, 2023, they will embark on a nationwide industrial action as the economic situation has deteriorated due to the adverse economic situation in the country, coupled with the withdrawal of the cost of living allowance COLA in December 2022. Speaking to Citi News, the General Secretary for the association, Abdullah Yakubu, said government must approve and implement the reviewed salaries or face their wrath.
In December, the COLA ended and was withdrawn. Other public sector workers had a 30% increase to compensate for the COLA and then their annual increase that they have enjoyed. Unfortunately, when the COLA ended, we do not have any new salary implemented. So the COLA is gone, bringing about reduction in our salaries. Generally, we should have had a new salary implemented. It hasn't been done. The advice of the Judicial Council is on the desk of the President of Ghana for his approval. It hasn't been approved. Where we've gotten to, it has become difficult for members to bear with. So our message now is that we should have the new salaries paid to us with all the arrears from January in the month of May. The indefinite strike itself will start from 22nd May. The industrial action is in two pools. One is the wearing of red armbands for 1 week. So after next week Friday, that is beginning 16th, the Monday, we'll begin wearing the red armbands to work. We'll work all right for 1 week with the red armbands. After that Friday, that will be the end of it. The following Monday, 22nd, we wouldn't come to work across the country. It will remain in force until we have the new salaries approved and paid to us with all the arrears.
Now, away from that, the Energy Commission has advised the general public to engage the services of certified electricians when wiring their buildings. According to the Commission, this will help reduce domestic fires related to electrical faults. Our Northern Regional correspondent, Dinah Ngwan, has the rest of the story.
Electricity is a critical commodity in this modern world. More so, it is crucial to get competent persons who are responsible for ensuring that all wirings at homes and workplaces are properly laid according to standards. According to the Ghana National Fire Service in the Northern Region, 106 fire outbreaks were recorded in the first quarter of 2023, and the majority of these incidents were caused by electrical faults, which stemmed from inferior cables and poor electrical installation, among others. As a result of this, the Energy Commission is entreating the public to use certified electricians to address this phenomenon. Speaking on the sidelines of the certification ceremony of some 250 electricians in Tamale, the manager for the Energy Commission in the Northern Region, John Bukari, announced some platforms available to access certified electricians.
All of them have been given an identity card. So when the electrician comes, you ask him, where is your certification card? He shows it to you. You look at the picture, you see that he's the one. We also have an Android and iOS app. That is certified electrician. So you can go online, download it, and search for an electrician in your district. The app works per your location. So if you are in Saboba district, Bimbila, Walwale, Navrongo, immediately you put on the app. It will bring all the certified electricians within your area, and then you can identify them. You can also go to Energy Commission website, and you can get a list of all the certified electricians. You can also visit the NEDCO district offices. When you get there, they can also assist you to also get a certified electrician.
He added that the Commission monitors and sanctions electricians who go contrary to the regulations.
Every quarter, we visit all the districts in which the certified electricians work. So what we do is that we go to the NEDCO office, we go and pick up the application forms that they have worked on and they claim to have wired. Then we visit the facilities to make sure that what they stated on their form is indeed what they've done. In case we go there and then the work is not done the way it's supposed to be done, the certified electrician or the inspector will use his own resources to do the correction on the facility. Yeah, so we do monitor their activities, and anyone who is found culpable, usually they have first-time offenders, second-time offenders, and a third time. So when you get to the third time, it means that you just don't want to abide by the law. Then we'll take legal action against that certified electrician or inspector.
Among the certified electricians were 10 females. Some of them spoke to Citi News about their work.
If you go to do wire, people will be looking at you, female in this field, what are you doing here? And I said, no, it's not like that. You just made your mind up and you'll be able to do it. And we females will get a lot of support. To the young ladies out there, you are powerful beyond measure. You can do anything. You just made up your mind and you do it.
Sometimes they feel kind of surprising because, wow, a lady working with electrical department is kind of surprising. That is how the people out there see me. But I think I know what I'm doing, so I feel normal.
From Tamale, I am Dinah Ngwan for Citi News.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Still to come. We'll take you to the University of Energy and Natural Resources, where the student leadership has taken steps to help brilliant but needy colleagues struggling to pay their fees. We have details coming up shortly. Please do stay.
Within the diner, we have HIV in fear of no credit na adding years semajatum, a bram yen shishimuno. Ne drew ni baby, a dominancy, in fiancé, a draw by our Ghana.
Paul, Cabran, Fiabiachi, na antiretroviral, and Rabini Hop. Na anidas when you home my dache. The near junior one who were dying.
You know of our area in fear dunum de on HIV positive. In fear do any name. Antiretroviral, and we are singing Ajatum say, young family HIV Mwawana say. She say you want IFA. I dare by say antiretroviral. So one on the pepper said the yachro now. I could say HIV Mwawano. I was soon see how you show more and one brassy. No until some farmer will be for Nemo Kai. So then we drew ye.
Yes, say more HIV more to be say. All antiretroviral no ye. Yet near to ace I say in film premium near Diasa.
Sweet, sweet mothers, how could we ever forget you? This year, on Mother's Day, we plan to do quite the festive opposite. What better way to show out for our beloved matriarchs than an entire evening dedicated to celebrating the phenomenon that is motherhood. Mama's boys and mama's girls, for all their love and sacrifices, here comes the ultimate Mother's Day gift. Picture this: a flavorous Ghanaian spread with countless mouth-watering treats, just like Mama's cooking. A glitzy dance floor serenaded by Mama's favorite tunes, just for Mama to boogie. And a stunningly intricate portrait of Mama, just to remind Mama how truly beautiful she is. Join us on Sunday, the 14th of May 2023 at 4 p.m. for an enchanting evening of appreciation and enjoyment for our feminine support systems. The venue is at the Citi Gardens, number 5, Ola Hansen Lane, Tesano, and the rate is a cool 350 Ghana cedis. It's going to be an evening of Ghanaian food, dance, and the celebration of motherhood. So book now and secure a seat for Mama at the A Portrait of Mama Mother's Day dinner now. For more enquiries, call 020-5973-973. The Portrait of Mama Mother's Day dinner is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM and is sponsored by Dano Milk and Tasty Tom.
Regardless of what your point of view may be, he holds a mirror for you to see the reflection of reality.
2 young men, brilliant student, best student in his school. He says, I believe in this as my identity, my religion. You say no. You won't take him because it breaks discipline. I think we should not be at the wrong side of history.
Dispassionate opinions that shape your point of view.
As for the president's credibility in terms of anti-corruption,
I'm afraid to say it's in tatters.
An analytical and non-partisan
I'll give you a
point of
proverb,
view.
and I can proverb. Sir Patrick Kwaso be Mount Oma, TND. This year, forget it.
Dialogue that informs your socio-political point of view.
I'm young enough to wait for God's opportunity tomorrow, and I'm not in a haste.
Are you lacing your boots for 2024?
Absolutely not.
You are not lacing. What time you see the shoe you have been wearing? Whether they are even boots? No, it's not Cambo.
A chance for the duty bearers to provide the citizens with an honest point of view.
We are being given rare and privileged access to a building which is part of the National Operations Directorate.
And we are so determined, to fight all manner of crime. Even the broad daylight robberies that we see and the footage say, we can say that we are going all out, to make sure that we contain them.
Educative chit-chat from the expert's point of view.
No, there is. In fact, that rumor has been said about so many vaccines. People said the tetanus vaccine causes infertility, and we are trying to make our women infertile. No, it's not true.
On the Point of View with Bernard Avle, every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Citi TV.
You're welcome back. Let's do more stories now. And the Students' Representative Council, SRC, at the University of Energy and Natural Resources at Sunyani in the Bono region has instituted a scholarship scheme to help brilliant but needy students who have challenges in paying their school fees. In line with this, an amount of over 200,000 Ghana cedis has been released by the SRC for the payment of fees for 211 students. The SRC is, however, calling for more support from corporate bodies for the sustainability of the scholarship scheme to enable more students to benefit from it. City News' Michael Saponinfum reports.
Many students in tertiary institutions across the country face financial challenges and are unable to pay their school fees. Some are forced to defer their programs along the line. Others have to do menial jobs to get money to pay their fees. The story is not different at the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani. As a result, the Students' Representative Council has instituted a scholarship scheme dubbed Enidasonsai, which literally means all hope is not lost, to support brilliant but needy students. The SRC President, Emmanuel Swanzi Bafo, has been throwing more light on the scholarship scheme.
What happens here is that normally when especially we are nearing examinations, you realize that a number of students actually default in the payment of school fees. So as an SRC, what we are concerned about is the welfare of our students. There are some students who are very brilliant but would genuinely have nothing to actually pay their fees. So what we do is to come in to intervene so that we are able to create some level of relief for students in such situation. I mean, we committed a whooping 200,000 plus Ghana cedis into the whole thing, and we have as many as 211 beneficiaries. So it's a welfare package of the SRC conclusively, and it's something we seek to sustain. What happens is that we normally open for applications. So interested students actually apply. In fact, there are requirements that any beneficiary at all should be able to fulfill, or any applicant should be able to fulfill. Right when the portal is open for applications, I mean, there's a time where the whole application ends. When that is done, there's an interview panel headed by the SRC Welfare Committee and co-paneled by the University Counseling and Guidance and Counseling Unit together with the Chaplaincy Unit to ensure that there's that level of monitoring and supervision so that the whole selection process is very fair and just. So that is actually what we've been doing. This year we had over 700 applicants, but we could only support 211 of them.
Some beneficiaries of the scholarship scheme have been speaking to the news team.
Yeah, the SRC initiative has really helped me personally because it got to this point that I felt all hope was lost. I was thinking of how to even move on to this next stage, how to even register my papers, my courses for exams and those stuff. Because I had applied for so many scholarships and then they all failed me. But getting this SRC Nidaso scholarship, it's really helped me, and I felt that all hope is not yet lost.
Well, I'll start by commending the SRC for such a wonderful initiative. Personally, I heard of it when I was in level 100. I applied, but I got it this year. And after meeting the criteria, I had an interview to confirm that my case is a genuine one. And the benefits have been very, very huge because in level 100, I had to use 30 minutes to write a paper because of late payment and registration. My mom had to pass through rainstorm and all of that. But this year, the SRC's scholarship made me benefited. I made the payments earlier and they helped me with the registration, and everything was fast and simple.
I've actually have financial challenges due to some 1 or 2 reasons. So paying fees was a bit difficult, and then with this initiative, I've been able to get this sound mind for studies. There's no need to be thinking about where my fees is going to come from, who will be paying the fees and all that. So this initiative has really helped a lot, and I will suggest to other corporate bodies who have the interests of students at heart that they should come and invest in this initiative.
Okay, so the school's rule is that if you are not able to pay a part of your school fees, you don't register, and so you don't get to write. Currently, we are writing an exam, and I'm able to write the exam because the SRC came in. I wouldn't have been able to pay, and that would mean I would have to defer all the courses. Because of the initiative by the SRC, I was able to pay my school fees, and I was able to register courses, and I'm writing an exam, and it's going fine.
Emmanuel Swansea Balfour is calling for more support from corporate bodies to help sustain the scholarship scheme.
As part of the funding, what we normally target is that apart from funding it from our SRC CAFES, we also look at how benevolent organizations can actually come in. It could be a church, it could be a state enterprise, it could be a CSO, a private organization somewhat. And that is what we tend to do. Sometime in December last year, we embarked on such a sponsorship drive to be able to get as many sponsors as possible. But it's rather unfortunate we couldn't get any partnership. But in spite of that, we were able to fund supporting about 211 students. So what we want to do is to count on all of these organizations who have corporate social responsibilities to embark on to consider donating into the fund so that we're able to sustain the policy in subsequent years.
The Student Representative Council of the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani is calling on corporate bodies to come on board to support the scholarship scheme in order to support more students from the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani. I am Michael Saponi for Citi News.
The residents of Pantoise Dominion City, a community located between the New Jobin South and Ekrepem North municipalities, are threatening to boycott the 2024 general elections if the only bridge connecting them to the regional capital, Koforidua, is not fixed. According to the angry residents, 3 persons, including a baby, have lost their lives within 3 months in an attempt to cross the deplorable bridge, which overflows its banks during every downpour. Citi News' Noni Amate Kanaku visited the community and has more in this report.
Mebedu ha bridge ya jiri nkola ijina ha driver de oma besi omuntimi ma ebi jina krotia ebi nso jina nafo ye bobna ye bridge yo nkola yo nti e ba sa no mebedu be ya 7 o'clock na etwase mede nkola ne koda obi fie na ade eche a ya ba ye fie ye koda ye ne tie mo mebra ba akoma wuli bi bodin wanya ne ba bi ko offense yi mu pe ribi twa ne nan ase eno anu ni wuo ne nan hoye ye tete biara anye ye sremo ɔman mpanimfoɔ ne n'aboafoɔ motwa mo ani hwɛ yɛn na yɛbrɛ.
That is Elizabeth Amoa, a mother of 3 and a resident of Pantoase Dominion City, recounting how she lost her close relative who tried crossing the river which overflowed its banks few years ago. Just like Elizabeth, several residents also go through difficult times accessing their homes whenever it rains, as the only bridge linking the Pantoase Dominion City community to Koforidua becomes unmotorable.
Between amne mo kase me de me ba eco school kwala ni susa yetumi koja wo mu kwan wo school mu ne enso yakose ye kwa kodi ye pa ye kosa na se bi ensuo eto ne aba bedu fie ya bra enam kwala na ye medu fie ne bridge ye yirinti no na se ye safa ensuo mu ne ye besen kokofa ye ma e free school mu ebu a ye bedu ya na bridge no na enyi ye so ye be kokofa kwala na ye be ba bedu ha no na bridge na yiri ye begina ha ye nya mema bi a ye begina ha gina ha no mo beso so ye ne ye mamu ne ye die betwa esese ye gina akopem tem ensuo no e betwa
yiria na chese mofra no ni twa kora edire ti ebitimi da obi fie ejise ensuo na kofom ansa na batan yakofa ye ma wo ni se ensuo awaka anya sa no nso be twen be 11 na se ntwa enko fema na chese oba obi nchen enkrofo meka se nipa be 3 kora na ewu wo sa bridge ho
bridge say ye no mfi be say
bridge say aye kora be say 2010 ana kusu yes a bridge we oh ya kakra no na kitse o ye bridge no to na sase so what ase na bridge no yen se na ototo kwan ni fia sa na o yes a bridge we oh ka bridge we na nka kwan kora na ha no ba bi na da ba bi fufu kora no ye ho aye na amafo nya kwan me meto asase wa 2010 ana meto asase wa oh ya betra so many yanka sa ni agba fore ayi ska ralo da sisi ni agiji ska sa ni etu etu aloro kwan afa.
This bridge, which was constructed by a resident, was done about 10 years ago. The resident sold portions of his lands to fund the...
And that's how we end today's edition of the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Our website, citinewsroom.com, has more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. My name is Kweku Ediama, and so many thanks for your company.
Day 4. Now this promises to be a long day of discovery. Waking up at the Ganas Hotel and enjoying a sumptuous breakfast